Jackson in the commentary box for this morning's Grand Prix or tonight's race, wherever you may be watching from. So, Jack, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you today, Bailey, and I'm excited to start the season here in Australia, looking for some good racing.
Yeah, it's obviously been a very long season, winter break if that's what you want to call it. I think about 5 weeks in total, which is quite a long time for sim racing and all that for to get underway. So we've had a bit of an off season. The drivers have been able to um, you know improve their ability and skills during that break, and yeah, so we're here for a new season, seeing what they can do. I'm just gonna try get my audio working. Ah, there we go. All right.
Yep. Yeah, no, hopefully we can, get off to a good start this season in Australia, see some good hard racing, and see what these guys can do. Just on board here, Lee Beattie in the Haas, about to start his first lap. Looks like he's the first driver.
I'll get everything set up on my screen. Might turn down that master volume a little bit as well. That's very loud to what we're saying, I think. There we go. So who's the first, sorry?
The Haas driver.
Alright. Going through turn 3 now?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll get you to jump on board, and if you want to commentate over this hot lap.
Yeah.
It's got a bit wide. Keep going.
Gone a bit wide. Coming into turn 6 now, looking for just after the 100-metre board. Now coming around turn 8, coming down to turn 9, just looking after the 100-metre board for turn 9. Back down to about 3rd or 4th gear, using 3rd. Now on the power, down the long back straight. Coming to the best corner on the calendar, turn 11, and hold the fast left-hander in 7th gear into the one. He's on the medium tyre. And going down the 6th gear, hasn't taken fast there, but nonetheless going now down to turn 13, just wants to go in between the 150-metre board, down the 4th gear he uses. Now coming to turn 14 in 5th gear, and now turn 13, no, turn 15, sorry, and second gear, and what you want at second and third for that traction at the last corner. Very tricky corner actually to get it right, but he gets it right this time, comes to the line for the first lap.
23.4. It's not bad considering everyone else they set their lap times on such close. So it's only a couple of tenths away from some of the guys on that little timing sheet at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Obviously, yeah, he's a medium tyre, so there's a few more cars that are coming up to the line now. We got Soy Loco of, I think that's Julian Montenegro coming up to the line. Of course, with the new season comes having to learn everyone else's name. So I think about 18 races into last season, I finally learnt them all off by heart, and now, bang, I'm slapped into a new season again. So hopefully Jack and myself can pick them up quite quickly. Never an easy job, but we'll do the best we can do.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Bailey.
So anyone else on the lap? I think for Queese, the Ferraris especially, Slowak is coming up to the line now.
What's he done? He's on 26.6, so not exactly a fast lap there. Anyone else on the lap? Doesn't look like it. Maybe the Red Bull.
Carter. Oh, he's coming to the pits. I think that's the first round of laps finish.
Yeah, I think Red Bull Tour Cogwheel, Richard Underwood is on a lap here on the medium tyre.
He's invalidated, unfortunately, somewhere.
Oh yeah, he has too.
Yeah. Right, I think we got the other Williams driver of Liam Towie about to start his lap. Coming through the final corner now, we'll jump on board for some of this stuff and jump back off board during the end part of it. Riding down the pit straight now, heading into turn 1, about 8th to 5th gear. He drops it into 4th momentarily just to get a bit of rotation throughout the car. Heading into 8th gear down in turn 3. raking about 100 meters out. Got to rotate the car quickly between turns 3 and 4. Try and make the corner the widest it can be. Very tight change of direction. He's gone purple through sector 1 with a 26.8 in the first sector. As he rounds turn 8, going into turn 9, now a very easy spot to invalidate on the track for a lot of drivers. Takes a lot inside curb and just uses a bit of that apron on the left there to help exceed the track onto late side drive.
The easiest spot to invalidate as well.
And he does.
Right there.
Yep, so as he was saying, the easiest spot to invalidate, I think he's gone and shown up there. If it's literally a difference if you turn the wheel about 500ths early, you're gonna cut the corner. So it's just something these guys are gonna have to look out for a lot, because they're a lot stricter this year from last year as well. I know there's a lot of talk in whether or not regular or street corner cutting is best to run, but I think people are gonna have to change their driving styles to that strict format.
Yeah, I think strict's always going to be the way to go for league racing, because the fast guys, they can always find an exploit, and strict's just better to keep the competition.
Exactly. If these guys really want to win, they can. I think they can learn to drive with it. Just looking around for other cars who might be starting their laps. I think the next one who's going to come around to start their lap is going to be one of the Ferraris, I think, I think we're going to have to call them by their PSN. So these, those names are so hard to pronounce, so I think we'll leave out Severe and Prequise. But Severe's coming up to the line to begin his second flying lap of the session. It's just under 10 minutes remaining in the session now, so lap times will start to improve as the track does heat up.
Very bit wide through turn 1, missed the apex there, so that's not going to be the best start to his lap. So now comes into turn 3.
It's interesting to see he did miss that apex, but he didn't invalidate somehow. Usually if you miss that apex or take too much of it, you're getting a straight off invalidation. Continue his lap. He's also gone purple through sector 1, my screen, with a 27.1. Not sure how true that is.
Yeah, not sure either, but apart from that first corner, not a bad lap so far. As he now makes the run down that side drop to turn 11 and 12. We'll see how committed he is to go down the 6th gear. Bit cautious.
Missed a bit of that first apex as well, which can really kill your momentum through that second right-hander. Car's pulled off to the inside, letting him go. Heading through the corner right about now. Second gear, rotate the car nicely, short shift out of the gears through the final corner. Try to get the power and traction down the best of your ability up to the line. What is Severe going to set? He's going to come across. Going to do 22.3, so he improves like 3/10. I think he moved up 2 positions there. I think Quinton behind him has just started a lap. The provisional pole sitter at the moment by 4/10 of a second. So, South African driver, I got to watch him a lot last season, and he secured 1 or 2, I think a bit more, maybe 2 or 3 podiums actually. Himself and Claus teamed up again in the Alfa Romeos. He's gone purple first sector again, barely up on his time by about 0.5 of a second.
Yeah, these are the important laps to just get them in as the track improves, not to invalidate, and make sure you just lower that benchmark.
100%. Of course, the final lap is the most important, undoubtedly. Quint's now 3.5 up on his time, so we're expecting a big improvement here. But the bank laps are nearly important as the final lap itself, because they allow you to push on that final lap, and he might get caught up behind some dirty air of Severe. Severe gets out of the way, thankfully. Heading into the final corner now. So it's a very neat and tidy exit. This is going to be easily in the 1 minute 20s. 1 minute 20.4. So he's got over a 9/10 margin to Josh in the McLaren, who is going off at turn 11 and 12 as we were saying that actually. I think he's on his cool down lap, so there's a big margin for these boys to catch up if they want to secure that pole position. Is that
Yeah, that's exactly right, and it was a good lap by Clinton there, didn't make any mistakes, and rolled the benchmark as he needed to do, and now he's in a good spot.
Yeah.
Probably just want to run to really nail it.
Shows what a tidy lap can do, because I agree there was not one real mistake I saw in that lap. Very planted. As Richard moves into P7 with a 1 minute 22.0, so looking very close in order from that from about third down there to about 7th, and then you got another really close part of the field from about 10th onwards.
Yeah, tight field is what you want to say, and apart from the gap out front, it's really close. So we'll see what these drivers can do on their next and final runs.
It's another McLaren and Matty Smith coming up to the line now. So you're going to set a 1:21 flat, which moves him into provisional P2 with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the session. That's a very good place to be with short remaining time. No one's really going to go set their laps until the final run. So there's a lot of pressure on people to improve their laps a bit.
As the Ferrari comes across the line, it doesn't look like he's going through.
He did. There's a Haas coming through the final sector now. He's not on a lap. He's on an out lap, sorry. So Vista, who is, sorry, we got all the names. Vista is Christopher Knowles. Comes up to the line, he's about to start his lap now. There's car accident in pit lane, that being his teammate.
Wasn't impeded there through turn 1?
No, he didn't use all of the track he probably could have, but it was very tidy nevertheless. And through the quick change direction through turns 3 and 4, flat out right-hander. Very easy in these cars. Last year was sometimes a struggle. He's up by 3.5 tenths on his time, and he's in P7. So at the moment he's looking to jump up ahead of Get Carter. No one else at the moment. Just got to find a bit more of an improvement.
Yeah, it's exactly like you make a big jump with a really good lap time now, and he's 9 tenths away from P2 compared to his first number. So we'll see how he goes here in the second sector. 4 tenths up. Yeah, through the second sector, so...
he's out of the session. He's out of the session. That's a big crash through turn 12 there. So easy to lose the rear. Drivers have to be so careful. I think Bo just moves up to P4 there while that happened as well, but you can see there in this side of the wall is Christopher's car, so big crash there for the Haas team, and they have to get that fixed up for quality very shortly after the race.
But yeah, if you push that a little bit too hard through turn 12 and just get a little bit on the grass, use too much of the curve, and you don't have to throw off that, you're going to pay the price in the wall.
Yeah, it shows the consequences that you know, the DNF and retirement is only it's only a mistake away. Drivers really have to be quite careful with how they drive to make sure they actually set a lap first, and then can push for the final lap. So I think Soy Loco was on a lap. I don't think it's anymore. There's 2 people on out lap. I think.
Yeah, I'm on board with a Alpha American into the last sector.
That's close. Yeah.
Just about, I think he's on his lap. He hasn't validated. This comes in the last corner now, coming to the line.
I think he's on to set a 1 minute 21 here. He's 1 minute 21.7, moves from P7. 3 tenths improvement for Claus.
So he went a little bit earlier than the rest, everybody else did, so see if that pays off for him. A nice plane there. As everybody looks like they're coming out right. severe in the Ferrari in the last sector as well.
There's a lot of people getting ready to start their final laps. I think it's a mixture between a lot of cars trying to finish their laps and start their laps. The Racing Point's also coming through the last sector.
The Renault's invalidated. He's the last corner. That's not really right. He's done 21.7. Won't matter. So he's down in 15th. That's Christopher Lubin.
He can probably make it around again for another lap. It'll be close.
He hasn't got a lot of fuel in the car.
Yeah, that's what's going to be the only problem. I think we got a McLaren about to... Frequenz has just started his lap down there in P16, so this is a crucial lap for him to get in. He's currently 16th with a 23.4. If he finds a bit of improvement, he'll jump up a couple of positions as Williams jumps up into P3 with a 21.2, splitting the two McLarens. That's the car of...
That's Liam Tim.
Yeah, Liam. So Liam's done well to move into P3. Of course, the two McLarens have just started their laps now with about a minute remaining in the session. They're both going in the first sector. There's another Williams of Soy Loco, who is Julian. He's invalidated his lap. So I think he's starting a new lap now, sorry. He goes through turn 1. Now it's all the cars finishing their laps, so Get Carter's coming around the final turn to finish his qualifying. I think he won't get another lap in after this. He doesn't improve on his lap. There's an AlphaTauri behind him of Bo. Bo's invalidated his lap, he's not going to improve. Then you got the Mercedes partnership. Oh, Phoenix jumps up to P2. That's a great lap from Jack.
It's a good lap. Good lap. Track position critical.
That is an excellent lap coming from nowhere on the field.
Matty's very wide at turn 12.
Jack's obviously got his dad, who's also set a lap down there in P16, nowhere near as fast as what his son is, but I'm sure Jack can probably provide some tips to Andrew throughout the season to help improve the Mercedes partnership there. A few more cars coming up to the line. We got, I think Julian doesn't improve in P4. Matty Smith pulls off into the pits, and then you got Liam. Oh, sorry, I got mixed up. Julian's one I'm watching now. Julian around the final corner, and he improved on his lap. I think he is up to P4, so the Williams in P4 and 5.
Good job from Williams there.
The English team's doing very well here. Both McLaren.
He's done 3 laps on the soft tyres there.
Yeah, that's not very good at all for your tyres. Get Carter's going to... Oh, I think we're going to be stuck with the glitch here. Maybe, I hope not. Maybe just waiting for that Red Bull to jump in the pit lane, I think. Not sure who that is.
Ferrari come to the line. Improve the time, didn't improve the position.
I think everyone's laps are done. I think it's just the game doing, I don't know, this thing.
So.
I've seen this in a few other lobbies where once qualifying finishes, the drivers just keep driving around for some reason. So, yeah, it's an interesting one, but I guess we just got to wait out the 50 seconds until the lobby does get underway. Until the race does get underway.
Anyway, Quinton Vanden there on pole by over half a second, so his lap was really good before, and no one really could challenge it.
It is a very strong performance, and last season he was struggling to get these pole positions and all that, but you can see he's put in that effort over the off season, and he's really come out in his favour. Starting on the front row of the first race of the season is always a very good confidence booster against the rest of the field. Obviously, if you look down from about P2 down to P8, everyone's separated from within a tenth there, so it's very close. It's not like Quinton he's too good for this field. I think it's very close. He's just put out a really good lap when it matters.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. Like he put it in the lap when it mattered, and I was on board with like the likes of Matty Smith, and he made a mistake at turn 12 or going off the track while up a little bit. But
Right, so that's where he would have
yeah,
lost some time.
so yeah, just he got in the cleanest lap and delivered.
So we'll run through the qualifying results on the formation lap. Obviously you can see them all here on your screen now, but I think it'd be more appropriate to do it when everyone is on the grid and you can finally see their cars for race day. So we'll get back to you guys shortly when the formation lap gets underway. So the strategy is now selected. It's a quick transition from qualifying on Saturday to race day on Sunday in the game. Thankfully only about 30 seconds, not a full day to wait for us. So we'll get all the tyres up and stuff, and if Jack, you want to run through the grid for us, that'd be excellent. Good luck with the names.
Yep.
You might want to get them up next to you, but
Got them up for sure. And on pole today is Quinten van der Meer from South African driver on pole with Alfa Romeo today. Second place, Jake Foster in the Mercedes, with third place being Matty Smith. In fourth place, we have Julian Monegro, and in fifth place behind him is his teammate Liam Townley in the Williams. Josh Bacon lines up in sixth there on the grid, with Bo Witcher in seventh place, and eighth place will be Jaden Alton, Canadian driver, hopefully looking to score well today. In ninth place, Klaus Christensen, hoping to help assist his teammate today. You can see that the race strategy is popping up on screen. They don't do a one-stop or a two-stop. I'd say the one-stop is more favourable than today.
I'd agree with that. I don't think too much strategy through the streets of it. Obviously, people are open up to trying it, and if the safety car or VSD comes out, it might be worth doing it really. So it's completely up to the driver whether or not what strategy they want to pick. But I'm sure they've done a lot of practice on the strategies to try to work out the quickest one for them.
Yeah, also the top 12 drivers all on the soft tyre. Obviously the top 10 drivers to run soft tyre as they qualified on, but a few guys on the medium tyre, and then Lee Beattie in the half actually on the hard tyre, so we'll see if the strategy pays off.
That's very interesting. It's going to be careful not to fall off too much in these first opening laps, because it's going to be a make or break all moment. Oh, sorry, the cars will go, so those nearly drove through the Red Bull. Yeah, it's a make or break moment for his race, really. If he can sit with the rest of the field on those hard compounded tyres. But either way, after about 6 weeks of a break, the cars line up for the first time of Season 6 of Transnation Formula One's Assist Tier 2. We have Quinten starting on pole, ahead of Jack in the Mercedes, who's going to be in the lead on the run down to turn 1. We'll try to get a better camera angle. So the lights are coming on now. 5 red lights for Season 6. So lights out and away we go. Quinten gets a pretty good start, I think. Jack's been bogged down a little bit. on in second place there. Mercedes already
Williams
overtaken
has got a good start.
by, I think that was Jay on these. Jay's up to P1 on my timing sheet, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Continue. Jack's still in P2, Matty Smith's down in P3, can't make a move, the top 6 or so are going to sit. There's McLaren and Red Bull going side by side, Carter trying to get around Josh, Paul's dropped back in P10, there's a bit of carbon fibre at the back of the field there. Bro Severe's had a good start of the video, was jumping up a couple of positions, he's going side by side with Red Bull through turn 6, and now his teammate's going to get on the inside, up into P12. So I think everyone's sorted themselves out for now, roughly. There's Renault I'm not sure who that name is. I'm going to call him Jipoa for now. Can't quite get clear, so move back up to the front with Quinton. Have you seen anything interesting there, Jack?
Yeah, looks like a relatively clean start from the front, a little bit scrappy towards the back. Good start out front by Quinton. He's already pulled away 8/10 in the second lap from Jake Foster, but you know, didn't really see too much. It looks like everyone escaped. Didn't see too much car before I got around.
Yeah, of course, wind damage completely ruins the race in like one, and you just have to be so careful to mind that front wind, because it truly can be, you'd rather lose about 2 positions than 30 seconds and another 8 positions. So as you can see them all in one big snake on that pit straight, it's a bit light, leading about 10 seconds almost at the moment. You can see Fleas in the pits, I forgot his name as well. You said on the formation lap and we were actually out.
He was on the hard tyres, so that's come straight into the mediums and change the front wing, so that's not worked out at all for his race. It's going to be a long day. Pretty
much exactly what we were saying on the hard tyres. It's a make or break first couple of laps for him, and he has got damages put on the medium tyres, soft tyres, late race. He really needs to stay tail to get back into it, but going back up to about the midfield here, there's already a couple of second gaps separating that top from where the Williams are, really at the top 6 onwards. Already a 3-second time period for one of the Williams there. I think that was, God, I think it's going to take me so long to work out all the names.
Yeah, that's either Townley or Monegro.
I think it was Townley. Townley on P6, so he did get.
It's very early to be picking up on the penalties.
Yeah. So
it's always difficult on the first lap when you're trying to dash off a position, and you probably lose a bit more of the track trying to avoid other drivers.
Exactly. You've had a perfect car for qualifying, and these guys in the race do end up locking about 4 seconds slower than their qualifying performance. So it's a big change in pace, and you know, you're changing that pace in about 3 minutes. Like, you could have set probably one of the best laps you've ever done in a qualifying session. 3 minutes later, you have a 55 kilo tank of fuel and dirty air from the car ahead. So it's a quick transition the drivers have to work out. But nevertheless, there's a Toro Rosso of Bo who's just gone in the fence in turn 8, leading up to turn 9. He's got a lot of wind damage in the front of that car, and he's got that Williams of Townley right behind him. You can see his understeer here.
Not ideal, and you can see he's got the RS here, has Townley. He's going to look for a move down, so he's probably not close enough here in turn 13. Aro doesn't feel the need to defend there, but it's very close. It looks like he definitely has some wing damage by the look of it. He's struggling with the understeer.
He's already got he's got a 3-second just there as well, running a little bit wide on the apron. There might have been a bit of contact there, but Bo does call off into the pits nevertheless, getting that front wing fixed, and that's cost a lot of time for Townley there on his teammate. About 3 seconds in total, when I think they were all sitting in DRS, so he's got a lot of time to make back up.
Yeah, and some clean air to do it. We'll see what his pace is like now in clean air, if he can catch back up to his teammate.
See Claus going around the outside in turn 3. They're still side by side in turn 4, himself and Carter.
A bit of a battle back.
Claus does have a bit of a move done, but I think Carter's going to try to have a look back. Isn't quite able to. Gets his wheel on the grass and gets a bit of dirt on his tyre, loses a bit of grip.
Also, Bo did come in and fitted the hard tyre, so
he's going to attempt to
it just depends on if he can pick up the rest of the field or not.
Yeah, there's a massive battle pack there for P11 onwards, really. A lot of drivers really congested heading through turns 11 and 12. I wouldn't see very easily. One of these drivers, probably one of the best overtaking opportunities on the track. You can see Andrew in the Mercedes trying to make a move.
He's on that medium tyre, so maybe the soft tyre dropping off already for the guys ahead. And he's finding himself under pressure from Christopher Rubin in Renault.
Obviously, when you're sitting this close, it's not good at all for the tyres.
But he's got a run here on the house ahead, and he's going to go screaming past into turn 1.
Right up the inside. I'm sure there's a bit of use from a bit of help from the overtake button there. He still does have it activated. As he's trying to get back on him, no one else is able to follow, so Andrew gets the move done heading in turn 1. Usually you see it down in turn 3, but just caught his opponent off guard there. As he picks up a 3-second time limit for his troubles.
It's very strict the track limits this year's game. You got to keep within it. As I think Christopher Rubin lost it before his shoot as well. Christopher Knowles, who looks to be maybe just struggling with his soft tyres already at this stage of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, only on to lap 5. There's kind of two ways these soft runners can go. They can look to there's side by side between the Renault, so Christopher does get the move done there through Lakeside Drive just before the back chicane. Moves himself up into P13, and then Frequency is also going to go down the inside, so still side by side, so Vista and the Hassel losing a lot of positions over a couple of corners and laps that just went by.
Yeah, I don't know if he has any wing damage. It actually looks like he does have a bit of wing damage on his front wing. So
front left end plate he does, yeah. So that'll be causing a lot of understeer, especially on the right corners. Moving back up to the midfield, you can still see Claus and Townley battling for that P5 position. Not separated yet. The only real drivers to actually not be separated in the top 10, that were actually the only drivers not to be separated in the top 10. 6 tenths between them. Everyone else has kind of pulled a gap. And dirty area on Albert Park is probably one of the worst worst track for dirty air on the calendar. It's really not all that impressive.
Yeah, especially because all the overtaking spots is where it leads to dirty air, like turn 1 is quite fast, and same with the run to turn 13 with the RS and turn 11 and 12. It's hard to follow, and same as even the last. I find the last corner really tricky to follow around.
Yeah, it's easy to run quite wide, as we can see. Andrew trying to make another move up on Severe down there. Same spot he did last lap. Isn't quite able to get it done on the Ferrari this time. So has to sit behind for a little bit longer now. You can see he's got a Renault Brie right down his neck, so he is trying to make a move on the Ferrari ahead, but if he makes a mistake, the car behind is going to grapple him up.
Hasn't got a lot of battery left, because going defensive here.
There you go, the Renault goes for a move in turn 1 side by side, and the Renault's been turned around, pitched on the inside of the track. He's going to have to put it in reverse, not be able to flick spin the car. So side by side in turn 1, 2 usually doesn't go at about 200 k's through there. Lap 1 you can kind of get away with it because everyone's a little bit slower, but when you're going that quick through the corners, yeah. Oh, and there's Townley's off at turn 9 there. He's lost his entire front wing and he's nearly reverse back on the track. I just caught the end of that. There was a I think Claus himself and his teammate of, I think it is Julian there in P4.
That's not great for Townley. Broken front wing, probably going to have to come in and replace that.
He put himself in such a good position on the track as well.
Yeah, he was running in that top 5, and now probably going to have to go on the hard tyre. to get to the end. It's a bit of a stretch with the mediums. Do you think the mediums can last this long?
Oh, it would be very close. You'd have to be very responsible on your tyres. I think you can't push them as Claus makes up in P4. But yeah, I don't know. You'd have to be very nice on them. I'd probably chuck on the hards from here to be safe, but yeah, it's driver choice, I guess, and they might want to go medium back to soft. It's really up to them. But either way, for Townley, that's really not a good outcome for himself there. So there's an off, I think, yellows and stuff.
Jaden Alton. He was off the track.
His tyres.
Position to go short.
See Richard right behind him.
From Richard. Turn 6, tough place to overtake turn 6. He's got a good opportunity here to turn 9 if he's using his battery. He's got a really good run. Defensive goes Jay. Almost off onto the grass is Richard. He's got to switch back on if he gets a good run here out of turn 9 and 10. Doesn't look like he's using the switch, so maybe he can have an opportunity with DRS into turn 13.
Oh, Matty's off! Where's Matty? He's got heavy amounts of wind damage on that front right end plate, so he's obviously made a mistake. I think heading through you got 16 turns, turn 13, I think that might be.
Yeah, he probably got a little bit too eager on the gas coming out of 13, probably just spun up the rear tyres and or either just pushed a little bit lower into that curb, I'm not too sure. That inside wall.
He's got the hards prepared on that McLaren, and there's another Williams ahead who's also got the hards prepared for that Williams. So 2 pit stops on that 9, the first 2 real drivers to do so, I'd say. Matty just leaving his box now, and Richard going in.
He's changed his front wheel as well onto the tyres those guys. So yeah, a lot of bit of rusty driving from someone breaking the front wing.
A lot of action in the leading first half of this race. We're only a little bit away from half race distance now. You can see Quinton still has a 3.2 second lead over Jack in P2 in that Mercedes. Jack's done well not to completely drop off Quinton. Like, if Quinton makes a mistake, he's definitely there to snatch up the scraps of it. Claus is a further 6.1 seconds back off Jack. The 2 Alfa Romeos doing very well, actually. Podium positions right now.
Quinton actually's coming into the pit lane this lap.
And so
Jake follows him.
Yeah.
We'll see if any of these guys decide maybe in the hard, they'll look like they could be going hard tyre.
They both do jump onto that hard kind of tyre, of course.
There's Josh Bacon in as well. The other Red Bull hammering at him also into the pits. So
a lot of drivers making their pit stops. Important not to come out in traffic, as you can see. I think one of them has that. Quinton's come out behind Jaden there in P2. And he'll catch up quite quickly to Jaden there on a fresh set of rubber. It doesn't really matter what compound of tyre you're on, you're always going to catch up to an old set.
Well, this is the opportunity for Jake to close that gap up a little bit. With Quinton behind Jake, he's going to get stuck. He can't get past, especially through turn 11, 12. It's an opportunity to just catch up a little bit. I noticed that he was sticking with him around that second half, so 2 seconds later until we were around the end of the stint of Quinton. So we'll see if he can do anything here on the hard tyre.
I think he might,
see if he can get through.
Might try to get the move done heading down into turn 13 here. He does have DRS, he's using that overtake button. Is he able to send it up the inside? He does go to the inside. He does try and make the overtake on Jaden, and Jaden can't really defend against that on old rubber. So Quinton moves through. He lost about half a second there, even though he was only stuck behind for a couple of corners. And there's this full course safety car for Andrew retiring actually down there in P17. You can see his car just past turn 6. And this being Claus is going to come out in P1 actually, I think. Maybe, his teammate goes by, and so does Jack. So I thought he was going to be close, but the top 3 comfortably get around.
Maybe if that safety car came out about 20 seconds earlier, it might have suited him a little bit more, but nonetheless.
So is anyone going to benefit from this safety car here? Didn't actually pit, because if you held your pit stop one lap later, you're making a lot of time up, and you can see Severe's actually, is he going to jump to Richard there for P9? He is. Josh Bacon out of the points, and I think he started P4, so he's had a shocking start. He's using the overtake button.
Yeah, probably want to be saving that during the safety car.
Yeah, it's, you're not making any overtakes, that's for certain. So, Josh, if you're listening, I recommend.
But unfortunately for Andrew, you know, probably I think just ran a little bit wide through the flat out turn 5, and probably just got onto that outside curve and finished too much of it through speeding back into the wall.
Yeah, so I think everyone is going to the end here besides... Oh no, Boca probably... He's on 7 lap old hards. We saw him pit very early on in the piece as he did get that wind damage. So with the safety car, he can probably actually stretch those to the end now. You know, just relax his tires a little bit, cool them back down. Yeah, oh, and under the safety car, there's been another retirement heading through into turn 9. It's an interesting spot to retire. I'll have to wait till when the cars get around there if we can see what's happened.
Yeah, not sure what's happened there.
Either way, yeah, I think...
Christopher Noel.
Don't think Goose's going to be too happy with that. But yeah, everyone on hard tide besides Jaden there in P8, smack bang in the middle of the field pretty much.
Richard just broke his front wing, that's why he's coming into the pit lane, and he picked up the 5-second penalty as well. That's quite sober actually.
So he's going to drop to the back. He'll get rid of that 5-second penalty right now in pit lane. No, yes, he will. Okay, good. I was going to say they should get rid of it because... So he dropped down from P10 to P15 and 5 positions are lost because of that little mistake, but we'll switch to position change, I think, on the telemetry. You can see Quinton and Jack both haven't moved to P1 and P2 there. Claus is up 6 positions up into P3, so he's had a brilliant first 12 laps of the season. No complaints from that moment. Kept his wing clean from P8, I think he started, P7 the run been. And yeah, he's moved up quite well. Then you got the Williams of, God, I think that's Julian in P4, is it? That was off the top of my head. It is Julian, so Julian in P4. You got Carter, I always forget his name as well, Cameron Adam in P5. You got Bo in P6, going up 1 position. Sorry, Cameron's gone up 5 positions from P10 to the side, so also a very strong start for himself. Bo in P6 leading up 1 position, Matty Smith in P7 going down 4. After we saw him spin through that final sector as just all the safety cars coming in this lap, so back to green flags very shortly. As you can see, Quinton's backing the field up a lot very early. Back to the field here, you have to be careful not to get wind damage.
There was a 5-second penalty just handed out. I think it was for Matty Smith in the McLaren, so he's already been a little bit of contact with it.
So wind damage, he does again, I think. We'll get another camera angle in a second. I can't quite see that yet. If he wants to switch, we can probably see from this one very shortly, and you can see Quinton there still hasn't gone. Matty Smith didn't get wind damage, so I'm not sure what happened there. Quinton's still holding them up. He can go when ready. He has gone now just before the penultimate corner on track. He hasn't caught Jack sleeping, but he's caught his teammate sleeping down there in P3. Already a 1.2 second gap from Jack onwards. As Jaden receives the penalty for multiple warnings, we're back under green flag racing. Cameron's had a very good start compared to Julian there in P4. More 5-second penalty. Jaden's got 5 seconds speed in pit lane. I think we might try to see a move here from Bo onto Cameron. Bo up the inside into turn 3 now for Tori, the sister team of brother team of Red Bull. Red Bull being the sister team, gets the job done on the inside, moves himself up into P5 now.
very good move there, down inside the turn 3. No DRS, of course, so got a really good run out turn 1, 2, and yeah, good move. He's 7 lap over hard, maybe I can ride up a little bit quicker.
Yeah, that was the textbook move there, I think, as well. So very comfortably up on the side. The only actual position change we saw for that safety car race up besides Jaden dropping all the way to the back of the field after getting wing damage there up his in.
That's disappointing for Jay because he was on the medium tyre. Yeah. 7th was a good spot compared to everyone else.
100%, yeah.
We'll see if Richard can do anything on the medium tyre. It's obviously going to be the quicker tyre for maybe the first 10 laps or so. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, and Jaden's had to jump onto hard tyres with no mediums left in his inventory there in the garage, so on to lap 14, Quinton takes us, he's already breached out a 1.2 second lead, still no DRS for these guys of course, they'll get it next lap, yeah, 2 laps after the safety car without DRS until it activates again.
Just always so critical though to get out of that DRS and yeah, just pull the gap and
the top 4 have all done that to each other as well, so they're not waiting around for anyone or helping each other breach the gap, they're doing it for themselves. And I think Julian there in P4 is really going to have to start pushing soon because he's only got 7 tenths back to go. He's going to have to extend that gap a little bit more if he wants to comfortably be in P4.
Yeah, probably really pushing him using a lot of the battery down. 25%. So, and on his old tyres, he needs to make as much ground as he can, as these guys will probably.
Sorry there, Josh going to move on the inside into turn 11, and this has opened up a lot of moves onto Frequise. 3 cars trying to get him from turn 11 down to turn 13. 2 cars do end up getting him. And, Flea, I forgot his name. Sorry, he's trying to have a look on the inside there. So is Richard. Richard on the medium speed, desperate to get past all of this. Isn't quite able to.
Rich.
And there's damage there as well, so the slightest of mistakes, he wasn't able to catch the car before it did go into the fence. And that's pretty much ruined his race as well. On the hard tyres, he started on the hard tyres actually, I think, and now he's gone back onto them and lost the rear again. So 2 mistakes on the hard compound, and it's really proven costly for himself.
It's gonna be unless it's the safety cars, any chance of points probably out the window.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate for himself there. Anything.
So obviously Afro and Mayo looking very good in P1 and P3. Quinton's been looking pacey all weekend. I don't think anyone's really been able to match him. Jack's been very close there in the Mercedes in P2. But yeah, there's yellow flags. There's a big crash at turn 12, I think. There's a red blob talk of Richard. Sorry, he's been taken off on the exit. There is wind damage there as well, unfortunately, on that front right end plate, so he'll be back into the pits for a hard set. Mediums aren't going to make it from here, and he's already used them up, so you can see Flea also goes in the pit there, as we saw in the last lap.
Yeah, it's disappointing for Richard, and as well as Flea who comes into the pits as well.
So Julian's trying to make a move on Speed there, down to P3, goes around the outside, just later onto the brakes, and Speed isn't able to defend that position. The use of DRS and overtake from Julian made the move stick very easily.
Severe actually picks up a first compound. Using a little bit too much of the truck on the inside.
These guys are very close. You got Josh, and then you got Christopher down there in P11, the Renault, just watching this little battle unfold. Josh had a very good qualifying, but he's lost a lot of it in the race somewhere. I'm not sure where he was making those mistakes, but he has DRS.
Really good one, yeah.
So does the Ferrari in front of him. Not able to get the move done into turn 13. I think Ferrari's on the brink of losing that DRS though, so he's got to be careful. That's severe.
Yeah, we'll see. Did Severe pick up DRS? He did, so that's gonna
Still
just
has
save him.
it.
But Josh hasn't got the best exit. Here comes Christopher Lubin with DRS. He's got a good slipstream here behind Josh down the inside into turn 1. And late on the brakes, really late. He's off the track. And Josh is able to get back ahead, so a little bit too eager on the brakes. So he's had the move done. He was pretty much ahead going into the braking as well.
Well, if you track back to a couple of laps ago, he did go side by side with another car. I forgot who it was down there into turn 1, and did end up spinning off into the infield. So maybe he was just trying to, avoid that by braking a bit later, and unfortunately he's outbraking himself a little bit too much. And,
yeah, hasn't been his best spot on the track today. This turn 1, but this is all about if he points as he picks up a 3-second penalty to add to his pain.
It seems very far back, but these guys are fighting for points, and that's exactly right. So you can see Josh is all over the back of Severe again, nearly loses the car. He's going to go up the inside, heading into turn 13, the Ferrari McLaren side by side. I think Josh is going to get this move done. Severe tries to hold around the outside, he's done so successfully, so great defensive manoeuvre from Severe to hold that position for P9. Josh very late. He's basically pushing through that penultimate corner. Again through the final corner. He's going to have DRS this time. He's going to nearly lose the car as well. Josh very eager to get through this Ferrari roadblock ahead of him, it seems.
And we'll see if he can get the run out of turn 2 here. It looks very close behind. Rear end struggling a little bit there for traction. Not using his overtake button here. And he's not close enough here in turn 3. He's had a look, but can't find a way past.
We saw Josh's teammate of Matty Smith there for the battle for P6 get ahead of Cameron Adams in Red Bull. There's a racing point off in a very interesting location. Jaden's retired from the session. Unfortunately, he's called it a day for that racing point team. Made a mistake somewhere, and Josh finally does get that move done. There's a big battle there for turn 9 and P9. Josh gets moved done.
Christopher around the outside. It's going to be very difficult to go all the way around the outside turn 11.
Has to back out of it as he should have. The responsible.
Now he's setting up very well for turn 13. He's going to go to the inside here, Lubin, but he's not close enough. There's a white flag in sector 1 as well.
That's for Jaden on the inside. He's pulled to the inside at a safe spot, so that's not going to affect anyone, thankfully. I think everyone's quite happy to continue. So we go about 10 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. First race this season hasn't been a boring one by any means. Quinton's dominated quite successfully, but there's been battles all throughout the field, the entire race. See, I'm still very interested in this battle pack for P9 here. I don't think Severe's going to let this go very easily.
Yeah, I don't know if he has the pace compared to Josh though. We'll see if he can pick up with him. It looks like he's just struggling a little bit more. So he's now through turn 4. And Christopher behind, looking eager to get past. This is a battle for 1 point.
It is a battle for, well, 2 points at best, but I think Josh is going to pull away from that DRS in a second. As you see it flick from 9 tenths to 1 second of the gap. Severe is really going to have to push if he wants to hold into this DRS. If he loses this, Christopher's going to be pretty much gift. Oh, was that a brake check there? No? That looked very interesting between Severe. I think Severe might have just made a mistake for that quick chicane. He just lost a lot of pace through it.
He's lost a lot of ground to Josh ahead, so
exactly, yeah.
Maybe just a bit of a mistake, and any small mistake can cost you a lot of time, especially in a high speed corner such as turn 11 and 12. And he's almost into the wall.
Both of them were nearly into the wall. I don't think Christopher got any wind damage from. Yeah, but he's going to try and make a move again into turn 1. He gets it done finally successfully. Third time's a charm for Christopher. Nearly runs wide through turn 2, but he's got the move done. moves himself up for that 1 point to Ferrari's just on the brink of those points, unfortunately. Have to try to work their way into it. You got Flea and Richard battling down there for P13 as well. Good to see that they're still sticking around in the race.
I think I'm 21 laps on soft tyres.
Yeah, it says that for me as well, but yeah, it flipped to 23, so there's obviously a glitch with it. It went from 21 to 23 laps, so...
I thought if those are 23 laps on soft tyres, they'd be all punctured by now.
Yeah, they are, yeah. Not sure what Gunter's strategy is, obviously pulling out a few rare moves there in the Haas, but either way, we'll let them keep doing their thing. Squabble for P13. We'll move up to the battle for P6, I think. These guys have pulled a lot onto both P5, and this could very well become a three-way battle for P5. So, and Richard's unfortunately left the session. We can invite him back, thankfully. I'll quickly get him back in here before we return to... Oh, I nearly invited you. Oops. I'll be 2 seconds, sorry.
Josh swooped around the outside zone on board.
Alright, we're back watching this again. So, the battle for P9, as you heard Jack in the background there. Christopher trying to make the move on Josh, but Josh still maintaining P9.
Ooh, he's had a huge slide as well through turn 5.
To be fair, I think Christopher is probably quicker than Josh here at the moment, but he just can't get it moved on. You saw how quickly he caught back up to Josh, even though he was out of a second and lost all that time being behind Severe. So
yeah, exactly, and exactly right there, Bailey. And see if you can do a move probably into turn 1. Seems like where everyone's trying to get their moves done, as Josh picks up another penalty there. There's a few in the last recent race I've noticed. And he's sliding around through all of these corners, so just struggling with his tyres a bit. There's Barry as well under pressure for 5th place.
Yeah, Matty Smith's caught up to Bo, and Cameron's just fallen off a little bit. He still does have that DRS, but he's out of the second. We might actually see a move here from Matty, heading down into turn 3. He's not going to waste any time, has no battery. Side by side, bit of wheel contact between the two, nothing wrong with that. That's all clean and fair racing. Matty right up the back of that AlphaTauri. And we'll jump back to the other McLaren and Renault, battling there for P9. Christopher's still not able to get around Josh. Flicking back up to that battle for P5. This has allowed Cameron straight into it as he picks up a 3-second. I think penalties are a big talking point of this race. I think a lot of positions are going to flip around after this.
There is a lot of Titan penalties. Really not handed out so far. So
the top 4 have breached away undoubtedly. I don't think they're getting caught anytime soon unless they're making errors themselves. So the problem... and that's actually Josh off. So on exit to turn 12 again. There's a safety car with, 6 laps left in the Grand Prix. This is going to bunch everyone back up.
We'll see if anyone jumps onto a new set of tyres. Surely.
They should. 100. Yes, you can see everyone from P5 onwards has jumped in. So the top 4 missed out, being too far up along the track, and everyone else has jumped in. There's actually a Renault. Japo has stayed out, so he hasn't gone in.
Yeah, this is gonna. They're all going into soft tyres as well. This is gonna change the race completely on its head. So I wonder if the top 4, how disadvantaged they will be.
Well, I think these guys, will they maybe even jump the... I don't think they'll get Quinton. Quinton's safe. I think Quinton and Jack are both safe there for P1 and P2, but Claus and Julian for P3 and 4, I don't think they're going to maintain that. Bo's the front soft runner, followed by Cameron Adams, then you got Julian, Matty Smith, Severe, Frequise, Flea, and also Richard. Yeah, actually, so green lights on the safety car. These guys are all allowed to get past that safety car as it sits on the side of the track. So we'll have a look at penalties once everyone comes out in track position. You can see.
I wonder if Quinton pulls into the pits here.
Oh, he surely would. I think Quinton will easily be safe. He won't get jumped by anyone.
It'll be interesting to see if anyone does the opposite, and yeah,
yes,
Jake does stay out.
So
taking track position, so we'll see if that plays out for him.
The other two do come in. I don't think Jack's made the right call there, staying out. I'm going to be honest. Safety car will go in on about lap 26 to 29. I think you'll have 4 laps of racing, 2 with DRS, 2 without DRS.
It'll be very difficult to stay ahead of, but you know, it's a gamble you get to pay if you don't think you can win it one way.
Is Bo going to jump these guys? Is Bo going to get them? Bo is going to get Quinton. So
this is really worked out.
I think Carter's going to get them too. Anyone else? Yes, Julian is going to get them and Matt's going to split them. So these guys have lost a lot of positions just by missing out on that safety period. So Quinton was easily, you can see Quinton's come out heaps far ahead, but you got these guys of Claus and Julian who went in the pits at P3 and 4 and they come out in P7 and 9, so they've been robbed and snatched from their original positions, but I think they can probably make 2 positions up on the 2 hard runners there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Obviously Christopher Lube in the Renault trying something different, but as well as Jake Foster, but in the Mercedes, but I don't know if they'll be able to hold on. It's going to be very difficult. Obviously track position is always important, but when the tyres are that much older, it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. I think Christopher P3 in that Renault, he could pretty much, he can let Quinton win this race if he battles too hard with Bo, Cameron, Julian, all those guys behind. If he starts battling with them, it's going to give the opportunity for Quinton to get straight through. And as much as Phoenix is going to, as much as Jackson want to hold that position in P1 as well, I don't think he's going to be able to just off raw grip. He's just not going to be able to defend that position, whether he's up the inside line or not.
Yeah, I think you're right there. You know something like that. It will be very difficult, especially on a fresh set of soft tyres compared to an old sort of hards. But this has really worked out for Bo. I think he was running that 5th spot, now up to potentially a 2nd on the podium, which is going to be perfect. Still going to depend on the penalties actually.
Yeah, I think safety car's going to go in this lap, so we'll quickly look through them. So you can see, oh, Jack's got a drive through. Oh, so that's really going to hurt him. That's all I needed to check right there. So Jack's going to peel off into the pits after the safety car. He can't serve that drive through under safety car, so as soon as it gets to green flag, he's going to have to jump in the pits. Quinton has 1 warning, so he's been very tame. Christopher has 3 penalties, not that that's going to matter. I think he's going to drop pretty far back. Bo's got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 seconds in penalties for Bo, so he's going to be dropping a lot. Cameron Adams has 6, 9 seconds for Cameron. 6 seconds for Julian. Claus has 5. I'm not sure, he might have served that already though, so. And then Matty also has, Matty's got, I think, 10 seconds, 13 seconds maybe. Either way, same car in this lap. Either way, I think the worst outcome of this is going to be for Bo and Matty Smith there. Oh, and there's been wind damage.
A lot of contact.
A lot of wind damage there. Someone there, Alpha Romeo Claus looks like he's got front wind damage there in P7. Everyone just going so slow. Braking, warming up their brakes. Something's bound to happen.
Back into Alpha Romeo lost a lot of damage there. He was running 3rd place this whole race. Was pretty much was Klaus, but you know, a lot of damage on this restart here, so we'll see if he dives in, does dive in. That's ruined his race as well. As you can see, he got a good restart from Bo here. You get down the inside of turn 1, and Christopher, he's not
He'll get it on traction, I think. He's going to get it on traction. Christopher can't do anything to defend. Is Quinton going to make a move? Quinton can't make the move in turn 3, so he's going to be stuck behind him. Bo's going to catch right up to him, but again, Quinton with only 1 warning compared to Bo's 15 seconds. I don't think it matters what Bo does. I don't think he's going to breach that gap.
Quinton doesn't need to be too aggressive here. Obviously, he probably doesn't know that Jake has a penalty ahead, and Bo's at 15 seconds, but Bo's actually penalty. So just going to be very careful not to...
See, Julian trying to go around the outside, sorry to cut you off with turn 9. He does get the move done. That was very scary. Could have ruined both cars' races there. Sorry to cut you off about the penalties there between Quinton and Jack for P1 and 2. We will keep an eye on Jack to see if he goes into pit lane.
Here comes Bo, actually. Bo at the inside. Oh, there's contact. There's a lot of contact there. He's down the inside. And he's through.
Does Quinton have wind damage? He's got no more battery. So he's used all of his battery. So he's going to be sitting dunk on the straight to Carter. So if Carter uses his overtake correctly, he's going to fly by. You can see Jack's off in the pit lane there as well to serve that drive through. You can see Cameron going down to the inside. He side by side through turn 1 and 2. He gets a penalty for trying to leave a bit too much space. And now this leaves Julian a shot to try go around the outside of the Red Bull. He does. He breaks way too late.
He's gone off the track.
He's going to lose 3 positions there. Just breaking way too late. That's very costly for himself.
Not great there from Julian. Cost himself a lot of positions there. And maybe a potential podium, so he really hurt him.
Yeah.
That matters.
Christopher's holding, he's causing all of this, I think. He's holding a lot of people up, and everyone gets, you know, a little bit aggressive. They really want to get past him. So you can see him in P4. Matty Smith's still not able to get past him. Cops a 3-second penalty as well as we're on board. So you can see he barely cut the track, but 3 seconds is 3 seconds. The white lines are the track limits around here, or yellow lines, whatever you want to call them. Australia does tend to be different like that.
Very different. You can see how much more grip he's got though compared to Chris ahead, and you'll see that work throughout the last corner. He hasn't got DRS just yet. Along with one left of on. Oh no, the slap up so.
Bo's really put the car down, and you can see he has to, because with 15 single penalties, he's not going to win the race ahead of Quinton, but he's going to have to try to pull whatever he can on the cars behind, because at the moment I still think he's in danger to Flea jumping him in P9 if Flea doesn't have penalties. So go gap to the leader for the final stages of this race. You can see only 9 seconds back to Flea from the lead. Always, those guys are actually bad leading, which he lost the position there. So is Matty able to get the move done on Christopher from P4? You'd think so, considering how much more grip he should have, but... Oh, he's lost it actually!
He's spun into the wall.
As we were talking, but it's bogged and beached his defence. Flicks a bit of dirt and carbon fibre onto the track. He drops into P9 from a very good points paying position.
That's going to cost him a potential podium with Bo's penalties.
100%. All he had to do was just get past Christopher, and Christopher's still sitting there in P4. Yeah, this is going to allow Severe and Jack both to get in points. Jack going down the inside, Matty's pulled off to the inside. A bit of contact between the two. Yeah, so that's Matty's day done, unfortunately. Going back up to the front there. I think both the Williams are very close on track. They are. No team orders here on the final lap of the race. Not able to get a move done. Yeah, too far back. That's what happens when he battled too hard at that turn 1 and 2, and yeah, killed his run for turn 3 can see Quinton's caught back up to the back of Bo. Not that this is going to matter because Quinton's easily going to win this race. Bo's put in a great effort nevertheless to get into P1 because Quinton's pace all weekend's been incredible to watch. But
yeah, he picked his moment after the safety car, but unfortunately penalties are going to haunt him here today. And it's been a great drive from Quinton. He put out front and just that's why he didn't pick up his penalties. He just got into a rhythm and pulled away from everybody else. And here comes the Williams.
yeah, I thought he was going to try and make a move. I wasn't sure. I was riding on board, but I don't think he can make a move from here on out. So Bo's going to come home across the track in P1. He's going to drop numerous positions.
He's done a good job to get a bit of a gap out to
He
last behind, but
has.
Quinton comes across the line to win the first race of the season.
Carter P3, so Bo holds P2. So people must have had plenty of penalties for Bo to hold P2. Flea jumps up into P4 from P9. So that just shows what a clean race can do. Getting no penalties. Christopher drops into P5, staying on the hard tyres. Proved out to be a smart decision, I think you could say. And Richard into P6.
Well, he was nowhere.
He left the session. He'd been disconnected from the session. Driver of the day, who's the game going to give it to? I'd probably say it might give it to... Oh, well, there you go. That's probably a fair shout, actually. I think he started about P15 and he's gone up to P5, so... That is a fair drive from Christopher to get into P5. Cheeky selfie there from Quinton.
I'm not sure where Bo started, but it's fantastic from to end up finishing in second place. Really worked out from after the safety car. I think he was on for about maybe a 5th or 6th place there without the safety car, so it's really helped him. Disappointing for the Williams drivers as well. After their qualifying, they won't be too thrilled.
So there you go, Quinton and Claus, the only ones without penalties in the entire field. These are your provisional results, of course. There might be time penalties afterwards and all that to be added on. I'm not sure, but you got Quinton in P1, Bo P2, Cameron Adams into P3, Flea P4 from P13. There you go, Christopher P5 from P17, so I think he's my driver of the day as well. Richard P6, Julian P7, Jack P8, Severe P9, Claus rounding out the top 10 and picking up that final point for the Alfa Romeo team. You got, I forgot his name, sorry, P11, Frequency P12, Matty Smith P13, and
that's not Julian, that's Liam.
That's the one, Liam Townsley, I think. And then you had, I think it was Josh Bacon rounding out with the DNF, unfortunately. So,
yeah,
definitely a first race. Well, it wasn't a boring one by any means. A lot of battling going on with those two safety cars, thankfully for us. But we'll invite the top 3 to the party, nevertheless. I think there were Quinton, Bo, and Carter. Alright. Quinton and Bo, where Bo is. What's Bo's PSN? They got it, don't worry, I think. I don't think that's it. What's his PSN, sorry? Are you in the lobby? Can you see it? Bo. What's his PSN? Alright. Yep, there it is. Perfect. Alright, so we'll wait for these guys to join the party before we start asking too many questions. So we got Quinton and Cameron both in. Wait for Bo. We'll start off with Quinton actually. Our race winner for today, not getting a singular penalty and starting on pole. Finishing P1. It's been a great drive from yourself there, Quinton. What are your overall
Thank you.
thoughts on the first race of the season?
I was very happy with pole because I did not know what to expect. I didn't know any of the other guys on the grid except for two others. So, yeah, I was expecting, some quick guys, and I was lucky to be on pole, and I was surprised by that. Great race. Try to keep it clean. Phoenix did a good job to keep a fairly close gap to me throughout the whole race, and then with the second safety car, decided to pit for softs, and there was a little bit of a chaotic incident close to the end with a huge dive bomb on our right and almost took us out, but luckily it all ended clean. I knew the guy in front of me had penalties, and I didn't try and overtake him, so I'm satisfied with the result. I'm just very sad for my teammate that had this incident on the safety car and he had to pit, so I think he should have been on the podium with me.
Sorry, Bo, we'll get to you in a second. Quinton, one more question for yourself. I'm guessing you'd done a lot of practice for this race, and as you were saying, you only knew two of the drivers on the grid. You've teamed up with Claus again this season. What was the original strategy heading into this race? Was the soft to hard for you or a soft to medium? Because as commentators here, Jack and I were trying to work out what was going to be the quickest for you guys.
It was a straightforward soft to hard strategy. Try and just stay quick and stop as little as possible. And the plan was always there. If there's a safety car, depending on how late it is, we'd fit mediums or softs for the final stint. And yeah, it's great to also team up with Klaus again this season. We did very well last season, so I really enjoy being in a team with him.
No, well, it's been great to see your pace improve as Bo's left the party. It's been great to see your pace improve nevertheless, and bringing home P1 for the first race of the season can definitely be a sign of what's to come for the next 21 races. So we're looking forward to seeing you at the Suzuki International Grand Prix there for Bahrain.
Thank you so much.
Alright, moving on to you now, Cameron, because Bo's jumped out of the party. Are you there?
Yep, hi, sorry, I was reading the Discord chat.
That's alright. So P3 then for you, I think you qualified about P6 or 7, I think it was from memory.
P10, I think.
P10, so much further back than what I anticipated actually. Yeah, so give us your thoughts on qualifying first, I guess. Probably not the best position to be started.
It was actually better than I expected coming into this. I didn't know too many people in this division, so I expected quite a lot of people to be quick. I was expecting roughly where I qualified. It was a bit higher than I actually expected. I did a good time, but track limits around here are quite difficult, so it's hard to get the balance of pushing hard but still getting without invalidating your lap time. So that was quite hard to get that right, but I think I did the best that I could probably have done.
Yeah, well, I mean, you brought it onto the podium in the end, and I guess qualifying isn't where you score the points, it's the race. So starting from P10, what was your overall mindset heading into the race? So you want to make up the most positions you could in the first couple of laps, or just sit back and kind of let carnage unfold?
Yeah, I was expecting quite a lot of carnage into the first corner, because it's hard to overtake into the first corner. So I was expecting a lot of people to spin around, so I actually took it quite easy into the first corner. I think I got one overtake on the line, but I was just taking it quite easy the first few laps. Conserving the softs because I knew they had to go quite far into the race, and mine were still on about 60% when I pitted, and I knew that was going to be the case, so I was taking it easy not to wear them out too much in the first stint.
Yeah, well, whatever you did, it seemed to work. You came, as I said, P3. Jack, do you have any questions for either of the drivers on the podium with us at the moment?
I think you've covered it there, Bailey. Good drivers by both of them to get onto the podium. Yeah, nothing really much more to add.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably round it out there. Do you guys have any questions for each other, or are you guys all done?
Nah, I
Uh,
think you covered most of it.
Alright, perfect.
yeah.
Well, if that's that's the Australian Grand Prix done for the CIS Tier 2 division. Round 1, there's 22 rounds for this season, of course, one more than last year, so we're looking forward to seeing you for 21 more races, hopefully, and seeing these guys on the podium maybe for 21 more races. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but thanks for joining us for the Australian Grand Prix, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week at the same time for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Thank you.